Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nurul Ain Sufia binti Muhammad Azhar. My matrix number 1213225. Now, I would like to share about intercultural communication in film Shanghai Night. As introduction, Shanghai Nights is a 2003 American martial arts action comedy film. It is the sequel to Shanghai Noon and the second installment of the Shanghai film series. This film, directed by David Dobkin and written by Alfred Gold and Miles Miller. It stars by Jackie Chan as John Wang, Owen Wilson as Roy O'Bannon, Fan Wong as John Ling, Donnie Yen as Wu Chow, and Aidan Gillen as Lord Nelson Redbone. Now, we will discuss about some intercultural issues that happen between two different cultures in this film, which are Chinese and American. Now, let's move to production of film. This film, directed by David Dobkin, who was personally chosen by Jackie Chan. Dobkin had a difficult time choosing a suitable Asian actress who could do movement work, emote well, and speak excellent in English. Secondly, Dobkin then saw clips of Fan Wong's videos, which is Who Like Ye 2001 and Jing Shi Yi Bai Shi 2001 and asked to audition her in London, which she did. She got the role and the number of scenes with her in was increased by 30%. For critical response in this film, the film received mixed reviews from critics, with praise for the chemistry between Chan and Wilson, the action sequences, and the fun nature of the film, but strong criticism for the plot. First of all, I found the non-verbal issues in this film, which is affect displays. Based on my research in Psychology Dictionary, it mentioned that affect displays are the behavior which acts as a sign of emotion which can be seen visually in the manner it is displayed, such facial expression, vocally expressed feelings, or gestures like mannerism or body language. It is often involuntary and occurs as a result of someone's manually expressed opinion, such as turning their nose up at something in disgust. In these scenes, Lord Nelson Redbone suddenly came to John Wang and said one should try the quail as first conversation between them. Nelson said with arrogance that he shocked on himself on that morning. Then, Nelson said that he not acquainted with the Nevada province and he said he have not been to India since 1981. Then, Wang replied the conversation with anger face and said that he heard Nelson just returned from China, and Nelson said Wang well informed which sounds proud. Nelson said with nose up that was his dream to see the Chinese people will follow the India's example and embrace British rule one day. Wang replied with his stand that the Chinese are very proud of their family and honor. Then, Nelson still argued and said that he sure they can break them of that. In this conversation, we can see the behavior between them which acts as a sign of emotion. For 2.0, I will share about the verbal issues that have in this film, which is turn-taking. According to an article written by Deborah Tennant PhD, when people get engaged in their conversation, they will take turns to speaking. This seems at first a self-evidently simple matter, which is one talks, then another people talks, then another. It is obvious to everyone that being raised in different cultures and speaking different language entails learning different grammars and lexicons. In these scenes, Roy O'Bannon came to John Wang while make a doghouse joke to make Wang laughing because he felt guilty like to Wang, but Wang with anger and sad face looked at Roy, and Roy said he can't take that look. Wang said he learned it from his father, that's how Roy used to look at him. Furthermore, Roy asked Wang what his father was the imperial guard. Then Wang answered no and it is much important and said his father was the keeper of the imperial seal. Roy said that's what he loved about China because everybody's job sounds so damn cool. Then, Wang said that the seal has been symbol of the emperor's power since King Island. Wang's family has been watched over 12 generations. Roy's reaction was shocked about the 12 generations. Wang said that he wanted to follow his father's footsteps because he was the only son. At the end of these scenes, Roy asked Wang to go to England with him to find the killer of Wang's dad. Roy wanted to do that because of their friendship, loyalty, and honor. In this conversation, we can look at one person talk and one was heard, then another person was talk, then another one was heard and answers the talk, and it is called turn-taking communication. Let's move to the part 3.0, which is perception in element attitudes. Based on my research, Marshall Singer 1987 tells us that perception is the process by which an individual selects, evaluates, and organizes stimuli from the external world. It means perception is a process which we make what we sense into a meaningful experience by selecting, organizing, and interpreting internal and external stimuli. Internal stimuli refer to our needs, desires, interests, motivations, and so on, while external stimuli are the sensations that arise from the way we see, smell, hear, touch, or taste. Lord Nelson Redbone. In this scene, Lord Nelson Redbone, who is recently returned from a diplomatic mission to China. Firstly, he said he afraid that he brought disturbed news from the Orient, and also said that the Opium Wars has ravaged the land and the emperor's enemies are organized. Then, he said that the most vicious are the Boxers, a godless band of rebels who murder without discretion and associate China is not well, and he brought back an envoy, which is a tiger, who should give them some insight into the inscrutable mind of the Chinese. In the parliament, he talked very confident and prevented the stories from others in the parliament about what had he done when he was there in China, which is he killed fathers of Wang. From that, we can see how was his attitude actually, and I thought it was a meaningful experience might be to him. We have arrived at the last part, which is contextual elements in personal relationships. According to an article written by expert contributor Karen Lawson, MD, personal relationships refer to close connections between people formed by emotional bonds and interactions. These bonds often grow from and are strengthened by mutual experiences. In partnerships, including marriage, are close relationships formed between two people that are built upon affection, trust, intimacy, and romantic love. We usually experience this kind of relationship with only one person at a time. In this sense, Roy O'Bannon, he confessed his feeling towards Lin to Lin's brother, which is Wang. He said he was falling in love with Lin and he thought that Lin is the one. Then, Wang said that Lin is his baby sister, but he confirmed to Roy that he will tell the truth to Lin that Roy was like and warned her. At John Lin's side, even her brother talked back about Roy to her because want to test her. Lin is still look at a good side of Roy, such as Roy has a good heart. In this sense, it tells us about the personal relationship between two persons even in different cultures. They are both open, trusted, and love, and people usually do this kind of relationship with only one person on a time. As a summary, in 1.0, we talk about non-verbal issues which is affect displays. In 2.0, we talk about verbal issues which is turn-taking. In 3.0, we talk about perception which is attitudes. And lastly, in 4.0, we talk about contextual elements which is personal relationships. That's all from me.